do that. I mean, let's be fair though.
I think that should be disallowed. I do not think if you're an immigrant, you should take value out of this country and send it back to your home country. I feel like that creates a conflict of interest and a potential for um, dispatriotic activities happening as an immigrant. I think if you want to be
but
an
how far are you
immigrant,
going to go with that?
uh
Like the only my only question is because like, all right, take for instance, someone comes here, they're an immigrant, they work their way up, they become a business owner. Now they start buying from their home country. Is that it? Is that illegal?
no,
Because they're
no, no,
sending
no.
money to their home country.
No, I'm talking about the immigrants that do not bring their entire family over because it's too expensive to bring their entire family over, and because there's also an argument to be made about that. Immigration needs to be a little bit easier, um, but to extract value out of this country, and because you're not extracting value by buying something, you're sending value out and you're getting value in, right? So I don't think it applies to that the way you're thinking it does. I think like simply just sending money back to your family should not be in the country that you're fleeing or you're leaving.
I mean, oh well, Castro says tax it. And I don't know, I think a lot of people know my opinions on immigration. It's just that we kind of just need to stop it, and we need to focus on the American people. And we got enough immigrants in here. Like, let's be
No, no,
honest,
no, no.
legal immigrants.
I want
We
I
don't really
want
need
more.
more. I don't
I
think we
do
need
want
more.
more.
I don't want more. I think we need to shut it down and help these guys in their own country to where they don't even got to come here.
No, I still want
Have you ever
America to
seen
be
the graph
the
that shows that every single person on the planet can fit in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah,
no,
but
yeah,
come on, that's not a reason
every
to flood
single person
America.
And
every
I
single
understand
person.
personal space, and I get that all day, every day. I'm just saying, like, the issue of space is not really an issue.
Yeah, we're not overpopulated by any means. We put a fucking whole city, i.e. San Diego, in a desert. Like we have the engineering capability to fucking use more space. So that it's not a space issue. It's not there's not enough room for them issue. The
I
issue
don't
is,
know. It might be a resource issue. I don't know, guys. Like I
well, if
said,
you
I
have
think we should
more.
just help these guys in their own country and just leave it at that. Like, what's wrong with that idea?
I want America. I still want
The
America to be
U.S.
the
wastes
land of
more food than
immigrants.
most countries have.
Yeah, I
Say that
want.
again.
Wait, he said the U.S. wastes more food than most countries have, and he's
I
not
mean,
wrong.
that
It's
is
not a
true.
resource issue, and we're also fatter than every other fucking
Yeah, and
country.
that is 100% facts. Issue. It's a supply and demand issue. It
Yeah.
So we have to
is
bring them over
a
here because we're just so
unmitigated
plentiful. Like
capitalism
No, no,
issue.
no, no, no,
everything's
no,
so
no, 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 no,
plentiful.
no. We don't have to bring people over here. I think America should still be that beacon of hope in the world. That gives us a certain amount of political play around the world. As everybody wants to come here.
Yeah,
We're
but do
like
we believe in the American people or these immigrants?
they are the American people once they become American citizens.
But all right, Monty. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I said we need to just cut it off at a certain point.
No,
It's getting a bit too.
we need to get rid of illegal immigration and fortify our immigration process and get better at vetting and make these things digital and quicker than before we open it up like I want it opened up. But I think it should be opened up. I think America should still be the land of opportunity.
I honestly think we need to get these guys, get the illegals up out of here and shut it down. All immigration services. I mean,
Yo, I
even the
never thought
H-1B
I'd
visa.
agree wholly with Monty, but I do.
What's that?
Oh no, Parabolic says nah. He agrees with you on this one.
The only part I just
Am I losing signal or are you losing signal?
disagree
I think
with
he is.
the way that people are being shunted out of the country.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
agree
see
with
that's
you fully. It just
yeah.
the
It
only thing
feels
I disagree with is like how the people to me.
well. So
Here's the thing.
so
I just don't understand why can't we just help them in their own country instead of just letting them flood here when
because
it
then
does
then
have
we
negative
lose that.
effects.
Then we lose that control over the world, which I think is very, very important.
So we control
We
the world by letting the world in?
Yes, you
Bro, that's how
absolutely
they're
do.
spying on us right now.
Well, no. Okay. So, like I said, there should not be
Like, well,
patriotism.
so think of it like this. Oh, well, your people aren't happy here. Why don't they just come over to my place?
Yep. And you can get all the smart people, the better people, the
No, no,
better
no, no,
athletes.
no, 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 no. You people stay over there. You're betters, you're elite. You stay over there and fix your country. Somebody come to George Washington, your country, and better that society. And come up with some type of democracy on your own without us interfering, without us taking your elites. I think we're just sapping these people of their best people. We're hurting these countries.
I mean, that is the imperialist in me that says that should happen. That is we want the best people. I don't care if it's not a white guy. I want the best people in this country from anywhere. We're like a
I
D1
think we
school.
should develop our people, develop, and so we're the best people in the world, and just keep it at that. And let's have that competition with the world, but
Well,
let's
here's
not
the
just
thing.
invite the world in, because let's be real,
Here's
nobody's respecting the American worker no more because of this.
No, you're right. And that's something that does need to change. And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is you cannot get smarter than your smartest person. So if there's someone that's smarter in, say, India, Pakistan, somewhere else, Iran, the nuclear scientists in Iran, I don't want to bomb them. I want to come bring them over here.
Yeah, they're doing their thing, but even that though, I want to keep them over there. I want to develop our guys because I believe we can do better. Just give us a shot instead of just inviting over an immigrant. It doesn't show too much faith in the American people or in our education system.
No. Set, what it does is it creates competition in the American system, and that is absolutely a good thing. And
We're
iron
already
sharpens
why
iron.
not just compete with ourselves, and then we'll just leave the other countries on the outside? Like I said, let them develop themselves and let us develop ourselves and let the best man win. I mean, we
So
already got everybody in here
so Set,
already.
Set, when you're getting college prospects, do you only get college prospects from the college town, or do you go around and you say, "Oh, you're real fucking good at wrestling. You're a state champion. You can come join this awesome fucking team that's whooping everybody's ass because we want you." Or do you say, "Oh, well, we're just going to scrimmage against ourselves and call ourselves champions"?
Well, it would all depend on where the rhetoric I would be going off of. If I'm trying to say, oh well, I pride myself on the wrestlers in my state, my city, because I believe our wrestlers are the best and we don't need nobody from the outside, then yeah. But most recruiters are not working off that logic. You're right. They're looking for the best person in the country.
Yep.
Now, if we're talking about Olympics, then think about it like that, though. I mean, we put up our best against their best.
Oh no, we don't. You look at the Chinese ping pong, or sorry, look at the American ping pong team. It's all Chinese people.
The American ping pong. Okay, come on now. Okay, that's I didn't know that one. I'll give you that. I didn't know that. But 9 times out of 10, though, we're looking at mostly black and white people.
No, we're not. Like that's the
Well, then, Seth, I'm sorry to
Come
tell
on.
you would have Arkansas, and everybody else has Alabama. So I don't know if you follow SEC football at all, but I promise you, I made an apt description there.
So I love competing, and I think if we have smarter people, or there are people that are smarter than us, let's not be so arrogant. I think we should suck them out of the countries that want to defeat us. The same way we did with the German scientists. That we bombed Japan because of the evil fucking German scientists.
And then because they were such good scientists, we brought them over here.
Yeah, and that should. I'm not to that extent. I don't think there's a lot of unethical things that happen that way, but the grand scheme of the message is the same. You want the best and brightest from everywhere. You don't want people that are going to be a drain on your society. You're right. You want people that are going to uplift your society.
No, like I said, I get that. Okay, I guess I can
Nazis
hear
were
you on
bad,
that.
but they did make
But
medical breakthroughs. I will say
But
that.
under your definition, then the only visa I would ever allow is the O1 visa, as I like to call it, the outstanding one. I mean, you better be at the top of your class. I don't want basic. I don't want H1B. I need you to be the best in the world. And if you're not that, then we don't want you in here. What's the point?
No,
We can go ahead and develop our own.
I agree with you on that. Like I actually agree with that. I think it should be a goal of the world to come to America, but not everybody's going to get to do it.
All right, get down with that. I guess.
That's going to piss us off even more.
India sucks. And here's the thing. I know
that often will get a lot of views in India if I talk about Modi or someone who's done something relatively well there because they sort of have been presenting as an ally. Well, it turns out that was largely fraudulent. And on a personal level, as far as immigrant groups, Indian Americans are among my least favorite.
Yeah. Yo.
Hold on a second. Castro is sending me to India because I drain on society? Look at the chat.
He says, I do not like the fact that you want these Indians in here, Monty.
I'm getting sent to India. What the fuck?
You got to send me too, man. The best I got is I manage personnel.
I'm a damn healthcare provider. When your ass has a heart attack because he ate too many fucking chalupas, who's gonna be there for you?
All right, yeah. All right, let's keep it going.
Just as far as the culture, as far as assimilation.
Wait, say that again.
I said I'll talk to you about your bad coworkers.
Oh, no.
As far as the leering, as far as full-grown men holding hands, I think it's weird, and it's just not really my jam. But if you come here and you're America first, okay, I understand that. However, India has been playing both sides on this one. So you've probably heard this quite a bit, and you hear it increasingly from people in tech, which is kind of worrisome, that India is the future, despite the fact that half their civilization lives in actual poop. They're the future.
I thought you said the past.
Oh my God.
Yeah. they're a great ally, and they're certainly our next greatest, most significant ally. You've heard all this.
And I really believe that the future of the 21st century is going to be determined by the strength of the United States-India partnership.
I'm pleased to report that with today's announcements, the friendship between the United States and India is the strongest I believe it's ever been. I think our relationship is the best it's ever been between two leaders of the two countries. I tell you, we're going to have a fantastic relationship, and it'll make both countries much stronger.
The president thinks America first, but he does not think America only or America exclusively. He's going to take care of his allies. He's going to make sure he takes care of India, who he deeply, deeply admires and respects.
The future of American innovation, the key driver of our economy, will depend on our immigration policies with India.
But what if I told you that all of that was based on a lie? And India, as a nation, as a government, and by the way, as a people, by and large, has been dishonest. They've been dishonest economically. They've betrayed us by engaging in trade and business with our enemies. And they're doing so while telling us that, no, we are friends. We are your best friend. And none of it is true. This brings us to this week's Eye on India.
Oh, my God.
All right. So let me give you the what references of it.
Yo.
Before we get into this, let's not confuse what my intentions behind this is, the statements that I'm making. America, we should work on America first. I absolutely agree on that. The American culture is a culture worth upholding and preserving. But I'm saying once that is solved, I want us to be the fucking everybody has their road set to us. And that doesn't just help America. That creates competition in the countries where these people are coming from, because they're naturally going to be competitive to try to get spots to come to America, and by definition, they're going to make themselves more prosperous, because the people that don't get over here are also going to be pretty fucking smart.
See, I kind of disagree with that, just because the idea that we have to work on America first, working on America also means working within the world, because we put ourselves at the front of the world stage in the 1960s.
That doesn't mean we just let in the world. Hold on now. Hold on. I see what y'all about to do here. Hold on. I just want to hold on now. One, I do think we need to keep these guys from now on. Yeah, no more H-1B visas. Keep these. Honestly, even take out foreign students, and let's bet on the American citizens. We got every culture in here. Let's just cut it off. We got enough Iranians. We got enough Indians, enough Asians. We got enough of these guys. We don't need more. Let's just bet on the guys we have here.
I say we need different Asians. We need different Pakistanis. We need different Iranians. I say we need the ones that are going to contribute the next Einstein to America.
We don't need more people. We just need to make our people contribute. See, look, it's like this how this American laziness gets built when it's just like, oh, I don't need to do that. We'll just bring in an immigrant for it. No,
No. It's not about laziness, Seth. See, there's a difference.
It's
about getting the right people for the right job,
it's not
regardless
competition
of where
when these
you're
guys
from.
are coming here for like what, a 2-year college and we're going through a 4-year. It's not really that fair either when they're able to outprice an American student because their country's going to pay double on tuition. It's not cool.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're extracting value from the country. That's why I say we need different people, not more people. If they're gonna come and get the American education, then leave. Yeah, no, that's extracting value. That's what I'm saying. We should not let anybody extract value from our country.
But I mean, if we're talking about, say, take for instance, like Indians, a lot of, and this is just kind of based off a demographic thing. A lot of them are becoming, these tech bros in your Silicon Valley, or your, doctors or engineers sometimes, and I guess that's like kind of looked down upon or whatever. Like all of these are like viable professions in America, and a lot of them are staying in America and working American jobs. So that's not extracting value. I get that you're saying like, oh, they're sending money back home to their family, but
no,
that's just
that's not
putting
what I
more
mean.
money into the world market.
That's not
The world
what I
market
mean
in
by
which
extracting
we
value.
are the primary source of.
That's not what I mean by extracting value. I'm talking about the people that don't stay. I'm talking about the people that say, "Oh, I'm coming to America to go to college so that I can be a doctor in India."
I don't know. I feel like, but who does this help? Does it help Americans or does it help these corporations?
It absolutely helps America. Look at the makeup of.
No, it takes jobs away from. It takes opportunity away from Americans.
Incorrect. They're competing with us and they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not
even going back to become a doctor in India wouldn't necessarily extract value per se, because A, they already paid the tuitions. B, now they go back, they're like, oh, well, I learned in America. Their friends are like, oh, well, I want to learn in America as well, putting more money back into the economy.
Nah, you guys go up there, develop y'all medical system, and let us ride off ours. Look, like y'all need to get better.
What he's saying is they can't develop their. If we're smarter than them, because that's what you have to predicate this on. If our education is better, they are giving value for value. They're giving us money into our education system to fund it, and then they're taking an education away from that. And you do if we're smarter, because I'm not going to say we are smarter, but if we are smarter in this scenario,
I think it's generally accepted that our upper level schools, like our finishing schools, our colleges and stuff, are widely accepted to be among the best in the world.
Yes, and so they can't make anything better if they're still working with sticks and stones. Like, not that they're working with sticks and stones.
Oh, yes, they can. They can definitely do that if we let them and stop taking their best and brightest.
Tony Stark did it in a cave with a box of scraps.
Oh God, man, come on, but we're taking their Tony Starks, Monty. We're robbing them of greatness.
I think
we're taking their George Washingtons, we're taking their leaders as opposed to usher them into the next wave of government, and we're making them CEOs.
I mean, I see your point on that, but those are the immigrants that I want to be here.
But they need to be over there, Monty. Their people need them more.
I don't think they need them more. I think they should, like I said, imagine this as a 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A school, and you have sports teams that are competing to go to the one D1 college, and we're the only D1 college in this scenario.
We'll let them develop themselves into a D1 college.
See, this is where I'm going to get real risque. I kind of believe that we shouldn't have countries. One world government. Call me the Antichrist if you want, but I genuinely think that if we had like an actual system of governance, like the UN but better, we would actually be able to go forward as a society a lot better.
Really?
So, in that sense, there would not be, kind of. So it'd be. I just don't think that staying isolated is a proper way to be. We tried that in the early 1900s. It didn't work out.
Wait, and being isolated. I mean, come on now, bro. Like,
So
we done invented so much stuff as just Americans. Just America alone invented so much stuff before the immigrants.
The only way in which you'll actually have a one world government is if we live in a multi-planetary species.
You can't say in America and before immigrants in the same sentence.
Wait, what?
You can't say in America.
Okay, good point. Good point. I'm sorry, but before the visa program or whatever. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I'll give you that all day.
No.
I'll give you that all day.
No, you're right. I incorrectly spoke.
But we can't.
we started immigrating here. Well, and by we, I mean half of my ancestors.
So, I think we need to address what I just said. We cannot have a united world unless we're a multi-planetary species, because we need something to unite against.
Man,
like Independence Day, you need to unite against the aliens.
So
exactly,
so I would like to be a little bit more optimistic. I think that history has shown that we only really come together whenever there is a unified enemy. But I don't think that is the only way we can come together, and that's kind of the point I try to get across is like, yes, history does show us that this is how it has been done, but we can find a different way. And I don't think warring against one specific like thing, or trying to like have an enemy is necessarily the best common ground.
Not necessarily
people
an
enemy, we don't need a Project Bluebeam, but I get what you're saying. Like, so we don't need to fake an alien attack to get world peace.
Yeah, that would be horrific. And we have War of the Worlds again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way in which we will have a united globe.
Oh yeah, people were pretty united over that.
Yeah. Yeah, because
people missed the freaking thing right beforehand. They just tuned in halfway through and was like, "Wait, what? We're gonna attack."
So again, that's why I try to see people's humanity, is because I make this argument all the time: is if tomorrow we got attacked by aliens, we're not going to give two fucks who's Muslim, who's Jew, who's fucking Christian, who's fucking Democrat, who's Republican. We all want to fucking live. We're not going to sit here and argue about the best way to fight. We're just going to fucking whoop ass.
Yeah, especially if they're threatening to destroy the earth. We're like, okay, guys, I guess we got to call it kumbaya, because they destroy the earth, we're all gone.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're right. But
I think we will still disagree on how to do it, but ultimately someone will make a decision. And I'll agree with that part.
But then again, that could also dissolve into, well, let's be real. We could still have, I would say this, there's have to be an evening out of military power.
No, it doesn't.
I think there would have to be, or else the dominating power would just take over, and they'll be the ones orchestrating security. And so, I mean, that's going to cause like, a little power imbalance.
There's not a power imbalance. We have competing militaries. We just have more of the advanced military than anybody else does. Russia has nuclear submarines. China has nuclear submarines, fucking aircraft carriers and all that fun shit. They would just be brought into our fold. We do war best, so we'll just do the war, but your assets will become the global assets, and America
This is a
run
little bit of a rant, but have you ever played Civ 6 or 7 or any of the Civilization games? Okay, so like you can have your different cities based on different things like science, culture, or whatever it may be. And the way that I look at it in like kind of a globalist type of view, so America is far and away the best military power that we have. Period. No questions. No one's going to argue that. In like a kind of a globalist section, like they would be mainly the military city, if you will, right? Like they're mainly worried about like developing military tech, and then like say maybe somewhere like Singapore is more of the capitalist society of the world, right? Where the World Bank is held, all this good stuff. So like in a literal like where you section off these different things that are already good about those places, and then bring them together as one thing.
So the only reason that you need to be good at things is to compete against people. So who are we going to compete against?
I
What, for one
disagree
world
that you
government?
necessarily need to be good to compete against someone. I know that competition does bring the cream will rise to the top or whatever, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that you don't necessarily need competition for the cream to rise to the top.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Historically, yes, I agree with you all day, every day. Historically, yes, but again, I try to work towards this notion of there is a better way. The way
All
that
right,
we
but
have done it, it has worked, but
You want to
there's
think
always a
of the
way that it
box.
can work better. Little Dicky to Snoop Dogg, right?
all right, no,
Not
hold
that
on.
rap
But
hasn't
how
been
would you
working. I
get
just
that
think
one
I could
off?
make it work better.
Or how would you get that off and try to take us out of that incentive? Because I kind of agree with Monty on that. We kind of do need that competition incentive, or the hierarchy of it.
You need a reason to compete. Otherwise, why are you creating a military?
For no other reason than you want to. The want. You
People
don't
don't.
necessarily
No,
need.
people don't want a military. People don't want to go to war.
I think people would like to invent things for the sake of invention, and sometimes military applications can be utilized.
Okay. I mean, so military.
The guy who made an MRI was a fucking astronomer. Like, he had nothing to do with the medical field. So
Right,
like
and
you can have different leaps and bounds if you just like kind of work together.
but so working together is usually to combat something. I have never seen working together. People don't work together to be fucking
Well,
for
I'll
nothing to
give you an
change.
enemy. I'll give you an actual enemy, a real enemy. World hunger, inequality.
Okay.
What is it called? Actually, honestly, those two, and we'd probably be just fine, right? Inequality and what was the first thing I said?
Oh,
World
world hunger.
World hunger. There it is. Inequality and world hunger. We start with those two. Everybody get together. I know the military can't really fix that, but we're already
No,
far ahead on military.
the military is the best way to fix that. Actually,
yeah, we drop off
Oh
food.
well, yeah. Well, the military drop programs from the Germany drops just to say fuck you to Russia. I do know about that, but it was also excessively expensive. So there's that as well.
Well, it was a fuck you. So it wasn't really designed to be economical. It was
they were
tons
dropping
and tons of
literal
food.
chocolate bars out of the fucking windows of the plane. Yeah, it was a giant fuck you.
Yeah. So, but we were competing against somebody. That's why we did that.
Yeah, but I would argue, and I'm not saying that this is a guaranteed thing, but like I would argue that if it were necessary, like say Russia all broke down and they couldn't take care of East Berlin, and I think that America could still find a way to get food to like these West and East Berliners. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think they necessarily needed Russia to be able to do that, but Russia was definitely a factor in it.
No, what I'm saying is the only reason the Berlin airlift happened, like we wouldn't have given two fucks about that part of Germany if Russia wasn't trying to turn it communist.
Well, that was our part of Germany. That's the thing, is there's our part of Berlin that we were airdropping to. So like it was our country. So yeah, we did care.
And all right, guys, now before we get too far going here, because like I said, once again, the video, guys, the video. But the conversation has been great, though. But let's try to end out these last 15 minutes with the video. And let's try to, not, interrupt too much for the chat.
All
right, guys. Great conversation, though. I love the back and forth.
Available. So last week, Trump announced he would hit India with a 25% tariff. Okay?
Good.
Now, let me give you the why. And a follow-up. Monday, President Trump announced even tougher measures, potentially greater tariffs. And he explained on Truth. He said, India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, They are then, for much of the oil purchased, selling it in the open market for big profits. They don't care how many people in Ukraine are being killed by the Russian war machine. Because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the USA. Better than India, some people say. By some, I mean everyone. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. And it's true. By the way, 2 people die by train every hour in India. I just think that's an interesting fact when people say all cultures are the same. Yes, trains kill 2 people in India each hour. Wow. Think about that. Animals avoid giant, loud, screaming metal objects. It's on a track. You have to go to it.
Yeah, it's on. It can't go anywhere else. It can't.
Yeah,
derailments.
And I'm not saying it's the only thing wrong with India. It's just a big one. It's just one. It's like, it's 2025 there too. How are you people getting killed by? And it's just because it's an entirely different culture. It's true. They've been engaging in trade with our enemies while trying to take advantage of Americans, while trying to take advantage not only of Americans themselves, but American businesses. And I'm talking about the scam deals that happen there. I don't know how almost all of the telemarketing scams that rob old people of their Social Security checks comes from one country, which would seem like it's not a very empathetic people, which would seem like maybe there's some kind of a moral vacuum in India. Seems like Hinduism isn't filling that. Also, American businesses are being exploited and our government is being exploited. At the same time, they're doing a lot of stuff behind our back. For example, acting as a loophole for China to avoid tariffs and buying Russian oil. Basically, India is taking advantage of the United States gleefully, and President Trump's the only one doing anything about it.
This is how they die.
Toot, toot.
Oh. I guess he misread the distance.
It's fine because he lived. He was not one of the 2 people per hour. By the way, there's a study that shows in some regions 50% of the train deaths are from selfie videos.
What? So if 2 people die by train every hour, that guy, not one of them. How many people are injured by train, Brian?
Exactly. And how many of them gang rape water monitor lizards?
At least 4.
All cultures are the same. If an American wanted to gang rape a water monitor lizard, I'm just using this as an example to show you that cultures are different. If an American wanted to gang rape a water monitor lizard, this happened in India, by the way, there would be multiple steps that frankly would probably act as a barrier to entry. First off, you'd have to find a group large enough of other people who too wanted to gang rape a water monitor lizard.
Yeah, what's that group chat look like?
Yeah, it must be pretty tough. You don't want that signal leaked. And then they would have to, of course, if they assume you find a posse of water monitor lizard rape enthusiasts large enough, you would then have to find a water monitor lizard. And you would then have to make sure that you could get this water monitor lizard isolated, because any witness in the United States would, of course, say, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. They didn't even have to do that in India. They pretty much did it in plain view. 8 people said, do you want to rape the lizard? And 7 other people said, yes.
I don't think
and they just did it. They just went to town. And
yeah, I got the story right here. 4 persons were arrested for allegedly raping a Bengal monitor lizard in Sahara Tiger Reserve in the Marsha Tara Forest.
What the fuck? I don't even know. What is a water monitor lizard? I'm imagining a lizard like the Geico gecko protecting fucking drinking fountains.
Let's see here.
Nah, monitor lizards are a lot scarier than that. I don't know how they did that without dying.
There we go. This ugly bastard right here.
Oh, it's the thing from fucking Jesse. What?
They graped it.
What?
They held it down and graped it in the forest for people.
So the Hajis are attacking the goats, and the Indians are raping the lizards. What the fuck,
bro? In the world we live in today, huh, guys?
In front of people, like, that's right. Look, put our back into it. It's just not the same kind of a culture. It's something that when anyone says they eat, pray, love, and India is a very spiritual place, you know that that person has lived an asshole's life because it is devoid of any spiritual, moral ethics whatsoever. And you know what? Let's be honest. A lot of their food is overrated crap. Let me go through this.
No. Indian food, curry, naan. Oh man, the festival foods are fucking great.
Yeah, curry is bomb. I'll give him that, and other things as well.
Chickpeas are a great source of protein.
They got good food.
And as far as governments, as far as businesses, and as far as you, just the average American citizen, how you are screwed on this raw deal by India playing like they are an ally. So some key facts for you. Key fact number 1. It's true. India is buying a massive amount of Russian oil.
Yeah.
Let's personalize this. Your best friend, you find out, is supporting your worst enemy. Your best friend is buying meals and, I don't know, making a down payment on the house of the guy who your wife cheated on you with, right? Like, hey, you're a friend. No, you're not a friend. Why? Because you're buying huge amounts of oil from someone who is not an ally. And the left should be on board with this because they hate Russia more than anything. So to give you an idea, 0.2% in pre-invasion, India, of crude imports came from Russia. Now that's 40 to 50%.
Look at that freaking graph
of India's crude imports. They're coming from Russia. That's $50 billion in new annual income.
They turned up even when the war was popping off.
For Russia. And by the way, even some of that crude, it comes through some U.S. sanctioned. They've already been sanctioned tankers, to be clear. So it's not like this isn't on our radar, to be clear. They know what they're doing. They could be engaging in trade honestly with the United States. They're not. They're supporting an enemy. And for Donald Trump, and this is the thing, someone who believes in peace through strength, but he wants to pull economic levers before we ever have to send troops into Russia. That becomes really hard to do if you're getting undercut by your supposed greatest ally. Think about that. In other words, you can't squeeze Russia. If India decides, oh no, we'll pick up the slack to the tune of 50% of our crude imports. And by the way, you can't trust those Russians any further than you can throw them, as seen here.
Oh my God, he's doing it again.
Oh, Putin's face on it.
I am trained.
Two die by trains per hour.
Per hour. It's their natural predator.
That's 48
and
a day.
half of the world's open defecation takes place in India. They had to start a campaign. We'll get to it, but I'm sorry. That means there's something inherently different. There's something inherently different. Oh, wait a second. If in 2025 your government needs to tell you to not poop wherever it falls, I'm sorry. The chances at assimilation are looking quite slim. So here's the other thing. Not just oil, weapons. Russia is India's single largest supplier of weapons, of arms. Right. Think about that for a second. They want to act like they're our ally, a pick-me
buy our
nation,
jets.
India. Hey, how about you get your weapons from us?
Yeah, and how about
you get your energy from us? Not only would that be better for Americans, if you're our friends, it would be better for you.
Yeah.
You know what they said? They said that after the invasion of Ukraine, that there was supply constraints and they had to start buying their oil from Russia. So you're telling me that you went from what was it, like 0.2% or something like that, almost nothing, to 50% because they said Europe was buying more? Are you serious?
How much you want to bet Russia cut a sweetheart deal?
Of course, they needed money. They were doing that with China. They were, I don't know why Europe was still buying their stuff. And then India, somebody who's supposed to be a partner of ours. Come on.
Are we starting to realize that the rest of the world they're not really our friends? When they're like, actually, we're great allies. Really? What have you done for us? What have you done for
yourself? Without just what a friend would do. Not something that's in your own best interest, because we all do that.
Sure. But,
just out of the goodness of your heart.
But how do you benefit the United States? We know how you harm the United States. India, I'm looking at you, which brings us to key fact number 2, that India, when we're talking about the immigration issue, the border is a big deal. And then India is a very close second. They flood the United States with cheap labor, and it's by design. It's by design to displace you and take your jobs. That's a real thing.
It's not about the video anyway.
They're doing it by design with the assistance of
I gotta go. I know that you're about to get off air and all that good stuff. I just wanted to say something. I come here not to for gotchas or anything like that. I come here for understanding. And I come here to try to give people my view on the world. I've never come here to do a got you. So if you ever see me in the chat trying to like explain something to someone, I promise you I'm trying to do my best in spreading awareness and understanding. I'm never like, I've even been wrong, and I've even admitted that I'm wrong in chat. But I do try my best to give out as much correct information as possible and come to an understanding with people that I possibly disagree with.
I'm here for both of it. I like that aspect of it, having an actual intellectual conversation. But if you want to be a fucking dumbass, I'll give you the smoke too.
Yeah, I match people's energy as well. I'm totally for that.
All right, man. Shout out Parabolic Curvature, man. Appreciate you coming up, man. We definitely needed that, our globalist host. Shout out my man Parabolic Curvature.
There wasn't a whole lot I disagreed with him on.
No, not really. Besides this whole, the whole globalist idea, I was like, all right, nah.
We both, I feel like I look at him. He might say he's centric and libertarian, but I look at him and his rhetoric as left leaning. But it seems like we both want to achieve the same goal and have completely fucking different ways, because he hasn't put forth a lot of his ways and his policy, but on this interaction. But it's like that's someone that you can actually have a debate with. Most left-leaning people are not like that. It comes from a position of moral superiority that they argue from.
I'd say he's a breath of fresh air after Sid. I'll tell you that.
Oh, good God! Yeah, like it's just gotcha after gotcha after gotcha. Like I was losing my shit. Like I have a lot of stamina when it comes to arguing with people. Like I've gone hours and hours and hours on your show just going back and forth with people. He exhausted me.
Trust me too. But all right, though, let's get back to it.
So Indian IT firms, just to give you an idea, they've spent millions lobbying Congress on H-1B visas. And by the way, they are the single largest recipient of remittance in the world. Let me give you an example. NASCOM, which represents India's largest tech companies. So in 2018, there was a former Michigan GOP governor, John Engler. He wrote a report for the Council of Foreign Relations, and this is what he wrote. He said, the administration should also reconsider measures that have created new obstacles for many foreign students and foreign workers on temporary work visas, such as the H-1B. Allowing companies to bring talented employees to the United States reduces the incentive to move research and other corporate activities offshore. Steps should also be taken to link immigration more directly with U.S.
I'm sorry, but it was funny.
Put that on stage?
I'm sorry, it was funny though. It's like, don't matter about you still getting shipped to India.
What did I do? I don't want to go there. They poop where they stand.
It ain't grape lizards.
And they grape lizards. Yeah, like what the hell? I guess I'll bring my Starlink and I'll tune in from India.
Nah, you know what made me lost it? It was the poop emoji. I was like, all right, Castro.
I love you, Castro, but fuck you.
Labor market challenges. Just really quickly, undisclosed at that time, Engler had actually been hired by NASCOM.
Oh, come on.
Who, by the way, of course, receive support from the government. So it's sort of like a USAID, only with USAID, sorry, but with India. But let me ask you this question. Why? We need to bring in more H-1Bs. Why? Well, it reduces the incentive to move research. And hold on a second. You believe that research and corporate activities are more effective or higher quality in India? So in other words, you're threatening us. Oh, well, companies are just going to move to cheap labor over there where you have 18 families living in a house working for pennies on the dollar. So you better bring that third world here. That's what you need to do. That's the solution. Well, how about we cord them off and start focusing on our own people? What was that, John?
Yeah, the point of the research and wanting the research and for the manufacturing to be in the United States is to employ American workers. That's the whole point. It's against the point to just bring foreign workers to do it.
Right. Why would we
might as well just send them there?
Why would we want to increase revenue for India so they can buy Russian oil and weapons? Think about that.
Yes.
So, and here's the thing, it's worse than that. So nonprofits like GADI, it's the Global Access to Talent from India. They also work very actively to install middle management abroad. And for people who don't know, it's effectively kind of like these headhunting agencies, these placement agencies, and a lot of them skim money off the top. So basically, they install people here in the United States. They get a kickback, and then you get a bunch of Indians who are living in one house who end up taking over your neighborhood and ghettoizing it. And that's what I mean, turning it into Little India. And that means it's dirtier. That means people are less friendly. That means there's less sense of community. That means they bring a lot of their cheating, lying, stealing. And I do mean that's the norm in India. Now, this doesn't mean that it's because their skin is brown. It's because of the culture in India. And these people are not even 1 or 2 generations removed. They're coming from a scam artist culture right here. According to Getty's site, they write, focused on creating enabling ecosystem for overseas employment from India. We aim to shift the global talent.
There's a whole ass YouTube channel based on cracking down on Indian scams.
Bro, I mean, an Indian scammer tried to take the channel one time, so trust me, I kind of
try to take your channel.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, though, I kind of knew it was a scam. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to kind of learn the framework of it. And
you wanted to see how deep it would go.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, bro, it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like, tried to steal your channel. You were gonna we were gonna have set live from Bali.
Bro was trying to give me like, oh yeah, I'm part of this sponsorship. We're trying to pay you like $7,000 a month. All you gotta do is give me access to your channel. I was like, wait, what?
Oh man.
And it was just like, he was trying to treat me like a kindergartner, like I just don't know that. Oh, well, if I give you access here, you're gonna take over. He's like, well, oh no, this is how we set up the wiring to your account. We just got to get it to your channel. I'm like, what?
You're like this is your first day on YouTube or something.
Oh my god, I was laughing on the other side. I had to mute a couple times. And I was like, oh wow, they really think we're stupid.
That's how those fucking bot accounts pop up. It's probably legitimate fucking traffic that they just take over.
It's like, man, and then no. Actually, I know a dude who got by them, but he ended up calling the guy. He got the guy to remove the fact that it was him, the guy who he called. He got that guy to remove it, and the guy pretended saying that he was from Google, and it was going to cost him like $300 to remove everything.
Yeah,
and. The Indian dude ended up removing everything before bro even gave payment. And when bro said, you know, it sounded funny. So I Googled, wait, do Google representatives take payment over the phone? And he said, no. So he said, you know what? He's like, I just let bro finish doing what he was doing. And then I hung up. So he pretty much took that and like he was like, dog, I could not get into my account. I looked at my Google email, had UK numbers on it. I was like, damn, they got you. They got you.
Mobility discourse. From illegal to legal, migration to mobility, and citizenship to work.
Ooh, citizenship to work.
Yeah, well, here's India's foreign affairs minister speaking at the launch of Getty in May.
There are currently roughly about 34 million Indians and PIOs living and working abroad. About half of them, again, that's a very approximate figure, half of them are our citizens. Perhaps a third are located in the Gulf, and the rest of them are spread across other geographies, mostly developed economies. However, given the trends that I spoke about, the possibility of expanding that, even in the near term, is very serious. Bear in mind that we Indians have also developed by now a strong history of employment exploration. These are not hypothetical possibilities or even prospects that are somewhere on the horizon. The need for talent abroad is a situation that is actually upon us today.
Okay, a couple of things. Let me ask you a few questions here, and then I want to compare it to, brain drain that has taken place in the past. If this is true and there's so much talent in India, why does India look like India? Why do people in India live like Indians? Genuine question. So if you have the most talented, if you have the brightest among us, why wouldn't you want to keep them in India to improve your country? For example, if we look at what happened after World War II and bringing in some of their engineers, we had to fight for that. And there was a long process because, of course, and even during the Cold War, Germans, right? They wanted to keep them there. They wanted to keep their best and brightest to have a competitive edge. Same thing with the Russians, right? They wanted to keep the space race. They weren't trying to send all their workers somewhere else. Here's why. India knows they're not the best and the brightest. And India makes more money, here's their play, by having people come work in the United States through this entire sort of Ponzi scheme that they run and sending money back to India. That's a better play than them actually creating a livable country for their own people. They have no intentions of doing that. That is not what a growing, developing nation does. Let's send all of our best and brightest away. Well, why don't you have opportunities there? If you're this growing economy, and they are these brilliant engineers, they are these brilliant coders, wouldn't you want them there so that they can bring you into the first world economically? No. The play is to send them here, take your job, because they know that they can work for less and send money back home. How does that benefit anyone in the United States? And again, the government policy is purchasing from and engaging in trade with our enemies. Now, this is something that people have been warning against for quite a long time, of course, everyone here included. And surprising to you, Vivek, in October 2024.
A lot of the people who have come here through the H-1B system would tell you, as I would, that it's just a broken system no matter who you're seeking to serve. My general approach is when something's broken in government, you can't really fix it when it's lasted that long. You need to shut it down, start with a blank slate, and rebuild from scratch. And that's just a stylistic point that I've applied to this issue as to any other.
Well, that's great. He seems to, until 2 months later in December 2024, when he said the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college. It starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Well, you know what? I agree that celebrating mediocrity and everyone gets a trophy, that doesn't necessarily breed the most competitive. I understand that. But I don't agree with the idea that they do that in India. You know what they celebrate in India? Getting ahead at all costs, whether it's honest or fraudulent. People will say this is racist. Anyone out there run a company and have to do business with a lot of recent Indian immigrants? Comment. They start haggling after you've signed the contract. And I'll tell you where that stems, where that comes from. It comes from silly religions that aren't real. And I mean that. Hinduism, Buddhism in many cases, but in India, let's go with Hinduism, where it's all situational ethics. Hey, why would you fear accountability if the only accountability is how you feel? You do bad, well, you're in your own hell. You're further away from nirvana. And you go, wait a second. That's all there is. I feel great. And I have more money in my pocket. Because even though I lied, I got the money from that guy. He has less and I have more. It's a fundamental problem with the religion. And it's why Western Christendom is different. It's why you are watching this from your smart tablet, and people in India, most of them, are literally pooping wherever their defecation may fall.
All right, he didn't have to crap on the entire religion, no pun intended, but like, come on now. Like, come on now. Like, that's the one thing I really don't like about our conservatives is that they'll bash any other religion at a moment's notice, but then get really sensitive when people attack Christians. I'm just like, all right, guys, come on now.
But did he say anything that was wrong?
Well, besides the Burma thing and all that about karma, I think that's just, honestly, bad characters it's bad characters among Indians. So blame it on their whole religion is like, damn, I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Well, he's saying he made a point when you're removed from any when it's based on feels, if you just morally say, oh, I feel good because I'm doing better, and you assimilate and assimilate and assimilate, that is how that religion, it's a religious thing, it's a cultural thing that he's pointing out. Now, that's not to say Christians don't do that, but that's not the predominant mode of thing. There's safeguards in place in the Christian religion to kind of stop that.
All right, and shout out to my man Parabolic Coverage, where he said, don't forget to like and subscribe and donate set money. Appreciate that, my friend. He tries to have a real debate channel, even if he is right-leaning. I know, right? I try my best. I try. People do be wanting me to have an echo chamber sometimes, but I can't. Even if the liberals get on your nerves, guys.
So if you believe that they're the best and the brightest, okay, let me present to you another wrinkle here. The degree mills in India. And these are just the ones that we know of. So the degree mills, by the way, to give you an idea, they sold more than 36,000. They were caught fake degrees. For would-be H-1B beneficiaries.
Yep. So they come over here and they're not even all that more skilled than us. They coming over here on a fake degree.
That's why if you go to medical school in India, it doesn't really count for anything in America. You still have to go through medical school in America.
I'm telling you, maybe they better
degrees for what
they don't apply that to tech for some reason. You know that, like, they can come out there with their 2-year degree in tech in India and they're able to get into like tech jobs here. It's kind of wild.
Well, it's because
it's
because there's no board of ethics in the tech community.
Yeah, for now. Well, there needs to be, but you're right. It is free reign right now in there.
It's the Wild West.
Be beneficiaries.
Ooh, you ain't lying.
So we caught 36,000 completely fake degrees.
Jeez.
And combine that with the fact that less than 2% of H-1Bs are checked for compliance on an annual basis. Oh, okay. So maybe it's not the best and the brightest. I'm sure there are some. It's a huge country. But maybe the majority of them are the kind of Indian immigrants here on H-1Bs who send their money back home and working with them as an exercise in frustration. Maybe it's because it's based on fraud. You know, like our alliance.
And shouldn't there be some kind of a, I don't know, sense of gratitude? Do you know why India is even the India of today, even with all the fake stuff that's going on?
Colonialism.
They have a tech.
Shiva?
No. The reason they have a tech industry is because we wired it. We wired it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started shipping our programming jobs overseas because we could do it over there for $25 an hour and charge $100 an hour here in the United States. And then they started to develop. This has happened over and over and over. We build the country's economy because we want access to labor. We want access to produce goods, whether it's right or wrong. And then they take advantage of us and start dictating the terms.
Yeah.
And every single president, whether it's China or India or Mexico or Canada or any other country that we've dealt with, every other president has just said, okay, well, don't hurt us too much.
Right.
Okay, we'll take advantage of us, but don't kill us.
Right.
Every other president until Donald Trump, who said, I kind of like India in a lot of ways, but these guys are screwing us right now.
Yep.
That's fair. It's absolutely fair. Rebalancing this stuff must happen.
Yeah.
All being real.
Free market, free enterprise, and our constitutional rights can only exist with a just and moral people. That's what the founding fathers said. I'm sorry, that means the basis has to be Western Christendom. Let me give you one example, just to show you that it's different. Not all cultures are equal. And I do mean morally. I do mean that morally, India as a country is inferior to the United States. Just to be clear, I want to put a very fine point on it. Morally, India is a reprehensible place in comparison to the United States. Just look at IP laws with China and India.
Good point.
In other words, Indians are more likely to come here if they want to innovate anything, hoping that they're protected by our laws here. They don't even take it into account. Why would you create anything? Why would you strive in India when the next person who's put in none of the work is simply going to rip it off? That's a constant problem that we have.
Yeah.
Someone creates something, and let's say they even have a patent. Let's say they own the intellectual property, the copyright. Guess what? It's going to be ripped off. Asia, India, that's a big problem with Amazon, right? Where you can't even find the original product. Think about that. It's how they make their bones. They don't innovate. They don't contribute. They take and then fleece. And by they, I mean nations like India and China. As a whole, I'm making a generalization that they're morally inferior to the United States, and that does not mean that we are without fault. Which brings us to key fact. I don't know how you say it in Hindi. I'll just say trace because Spanish is sort of a catch-all for not English. They're also working with China, which may surprise people, to subvert and to bypass tariffs in the United States. So 23 to 24, India's economic survey actually supported the idea of allowing Chinese companies to start factories in India and to allow India effectively to be a portal so that Chinese companies, which of course means run or in part owned by the Communist Chinese Party.
It's almost like do whatever, like, backstab whoever to get a factory built in, their country.
Well, in that case, hey, Seth.
Yeah.
In that case, then I if it's really not all it's cracked up to be and it's a facade, then I agree more with what you were saying earlier. Just shut it all fucking down and refine us. If they're so great, then we'll see the greatness go through them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, all right, well, let's see how y'all do without us. Because y'all come over here and talk ish, but then, all right, well, go to your country and do the same thing. Let's see how that works out for you guys. And that's what I'm saying. We need to leave them in their own country so they can fix their government, so they can have, like I said, they can have some type of protection, and then they can go ahead and fix their economy, because like that's just what it is out there. And now everybody just feeds on America's generosity, and we gotta low-key cut it off and let these guys know.
That's a good point. That's a country of fucking shit ton of people. It's over 1 billion people is the population of India, right?
Yeah.
So if there's such a talent pool, why are people why does the infrastructure look like that? Why does it not look like Seoul, South Korea? Why does it not look like Tokyo, Japan? Why does it not look like fucking Hong Kong, China? Why does it look so garbage? Why does it not look like New York City? Like,
Well, and China got this like racist caste system. You ever know how Chinese, not China, but India has like a racist, color system. I remember I was learning about this when I was a kid. That like, yeah, the darker you are as an Indian, the less valuable you are, and the lighter you are. Yeah, they kind of got that thing going on as well. And you ever notice how some of the Muslims there were also dark skinned? So yeah, being dark skinned in India isn't really the best thing. So also that's one of the reasons why I also agree with them that we're kind of are morally superior than them, because like we don't treat people badly because of their shade.
I also got a question. Why is it that every Indian immigrant in the U.S. last name is Patel?
Oh, well, bro, like I said, these are like, bro, you ever wonder how it's like the light-skinned Indians that come over here? Because those are the rich families in India.
Yeah.
Like, bro, look at Vivek. These are the guys that are allowed to leave, that are able to leave. Like, yeah, we do get the dark skins over here as well, but those are the ones that are in poverty.
Yeah.
When they come over here, it's like obvious what the system is in India. It's kind of reckless, but it is what it is. I mean,
they're all named Patel. Why are they? Why is everybody's name Patel? Like I'm telling you, I worked for an Indian, and he had a gas station. He had a Sitco on the street that I grew up on. His name was Nashit Patel. We called him Nick. He sold the gas station to someone named I think his name was Vivek Patel.
Hilarious, but that's how they do it though. I mean, it could have just been a family exchange or just keeping it within the honestly, the aristocracy. I mean, like, bro, they got that going on still, like families that have like high ranking there just because of the fact that you are a family of light-skinned Indians. I mean, that's really all it's based off. Is that messed up out there?
Oh,
I mean,
and
look
now
at
that
Cash
you say
Patel.
that, you know what's crazy? His last name's Patel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what's crazy too is the Indian that sold the gas station was light skinned, and he sold it to a darker skinned guy. And now that you're saying that, that makes sense because he thought he was a complete moron. Like he had a bias or a scourge against the darker skinned fucking Patel.
Yep. It's just how it works. Is at the caste system they had for like thousands of years that they base it off the skin tone.
I did not know that. I mean, that makes sense now. I just thought that he was just a complete dumbass because he thought he was running it wrong. And that makes sense. He literally thought he was inferior, so he was condescending to him.
Trust me, the dark skin one is used to it because he knows how it is over there in India. He's like, yeah, this is how y'all just regular day for them.
Yeah, damn.
No, right? I know. People say, oh, we do racism here. I'm like, woo, go to India.
India. go to any other country that has.
That's why I probably said, as a black guy, I don't think I want to go to India. I mean, like, look how y'all treat your darker skinned folks already. I don't know if I want to test it.
You're gonna be extra poor.
Exactly. But all right, man, we're gonna go ahead and end it on that note, guys. All right, man.
On the extra poor note, that's what you're gonna end that on.
Yeah.